Welcome back to another episode of the preview show, everybody. I'm Casey Campbell. That is Marty Zakala from ROC Sports Net, taking over, fulfilling in for Jonathan Fiel once again. How's it going, my man?
Hey, it's going good. A little stuffy, but that's normally me with the allergies. I haven't gone on to my stuff yet because we're recording in the morning. But thanks for having me on, Casey.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. There's been a lot, but I had a list of things that we were going to talk about, and then there were a lot of news that literally just happened. So if you haven't heard, Justin Haley is out for both the Xfinity race and Cup race. Kaulig Racing has announced that he is on COVID-19 placed in COVID-19 protocols, so he will not be racing at Dover this weekend. Zane Smith's going to be in the 11 car for Kaulig Racing, and Josh Berry is going to be in the 77 Spire Motorsports car, making his Cup Series debut. And I know it's the circumstances unlikely, but it's but Josh Berry's going to start a Cup race.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I think this was actually one of the right decisions for Spira that they had to make, because keep in mind they've got that little bit of an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports when it comes to the engine situation, and Josh Berry being with Junior Motorsports, which is pretty much the development team for the Hendrick Motorsports camp. But really cool to see Josh Berry make his Cup Series debut. I'm not expecting him to be running up front like some of these other guys, but I'm expecting for him to have a good day for the 77 team. I think as long as he gets a top 30, top 25 finish, I think that's a successful day for him.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see Josh Berry out there on the racetrack. And by the way, best wishes to Justin Haley. Hope you're feeling better. Hopefully we'll see you next week at COTA.
And I want to add this too with Justin Haley too. This is a pretty interesting situation he's in, because right now he is 6th in points. They're taking obviously the top 12 in playoffs this season. He'll get a waiver no matter what happens because of being out for the COVID-19 protocol list. But if you look at the standings here, 88 points above the cutoff right now. And so he'll still be in the playoffs for right now, be above that 13th place position. But I would be a little bit worried. Luckily though, these drivers are not 13th or 14th like Brandon Brown, who's currently in the fight for the final playoff spot. He's not going to get the full 60 points, whatever it takes to win a race and sweep all the stages. But this is going to affect Haley a little bit in terms of the playoff points and where he is in the standings. And if he remains in that position when it comes to the end of the regular season in about 3 months from now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, interesting stuff there in Xfinity. We'll get there. Dover, of course, it's a place where Justin Allgaier has dominated. He won both races last year, and he just won last week at Darlington. And of course, and as we know, he's on baby watch. Of course, they are expecting their second child. The interesting thing is, and if I talked to Justin earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, they do not know if it's going to be a boy or a girl. I think Justin wanted to, I wanted to make sure, he wanted.
I like that. I like it. I like being surprised. If that were me, I mean, this isn't a personal thing, but I'm not really a big gender reveal party like guy. I'm one that would, if I had a kid in the future, just surprise me. If it's a boy or if it's a girl, I'm gonna teach them about racing.
Yeah, they didn't do it with Justin's daughter Harper. They knew right away, because I think that that was their first child. They wanted to know what it is. But I think Justin convinced Ashley, his wife, to keep it as a surprise. So it'll be interesting, and we'll see what happens on that front. But we have quite the Xfinity race to have at Dover. The Xfinity series has been quite interesting the last few weeks, because we've seen the Kaulig cars, we've seen the Junior Motorsports cars. It looks like Junior Motorsports has been that top team. And Noah Gragson gets to keep his spot, his $100,000. He thought he lost it. He won the appeal, and then he got it back.
Yeah, I would feel bad if I feel bad for the Colleague Race and AJ Allmendinger team because at first you've got the $100,000, but then after the appeal, they get, Noah Gregson gets it back. So I'd be pretty mad if I were Colleague Racing. Like if I were them, I'd probably be like, come on, we just got hosed off thanks to the National Motorsports Appeals Panel. Give me like 50,000, 75,000 at least. But I'm a little bit more interested to see. I want to see more of a statement from the NMFA, not just the Apollers did not get DQ, whatever they said for a statement. I don't have it in front of me,
No.
but I'm. When we go into Dover this weekend, if Justin Allgaier is racing on Saturday, that is going to be Noah Gregson's toughest competitor yet in any of these Dash for Cash races this season. Obviously, Noah Gregson 3 for 3 going for the extra money, which would be a $500,000 payout if I recall correctly, and something that's never happened before in the Xfinity Series. Heck, even 2015, they had a $1 million payout, and no one won that at all. But Justin Allgaier versus Noah Gregson is going to be fun to watch. I would not be surprised if Noah Gregson goes for the bump and run on Justin Allgaier for a win, especially for the money. And if that were to be, I would say about Noah Gregson in the words of DW, I hope he chokes on that $200,000. I just had to put it out there. Just had to put it out there.
Yeah. So there's, obviously there with that Xfinity race, but it's turning into, on the Cup side of things, it's turning into Mark Truex Jr. is back and better than ever. It looks like they just needed a year to, everything out, but he and James Small right now, they're on a roll.
They're definitely the hottest team right now in the Cup Series garage, no question about it. 3 wins before anyone has had 2, and I think right now they're performing better than Denny Hamlin is. Denny Hamlin was really consistent these first 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season, and now you got Truex pulling off 3 wins before anyone has 2, and all those wins coming at playoff tracks later on this season. Keep that in mind, especially in the final 2 this season when we have Martinsville and Phoenix. I know it shouldn't really be. This is like an overrated topic to talk about, according to Kelvin. But early favorite, I want to say Truex, but who knows? Someone else could have a good day in the next couple of few weeks and pull off 3 wins out of their rear end too. You know what I'm saying? But they're right now Truex the hottest team in the garage. If playoffs were to start, he'd have the most playoff points over Denny Hamlin, thanks to the amount of wins he has compared to the driver of the 11.
And of course, if the Kelvin he's referring to is Kelvin LaPierre, who is his
Yep.
co-host on RSN Trackside. So, by the way, it's a great show. You should check it out. I've been on
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on the Rock Sports Network Facebook page.
Yeah.
Interviews with drivers from time to time. A lot of fun.
They even had me on there.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll make picks in a minute, but I want to touch on a few things that happened this week. One, I want to talk about National Fairgrounds, but NASCAR made a big announcement yesterday regarding masks are no longer required in the garage area or the pit road. They're still, inside buildings and stuff. And then the CDC came out with an announcement saying that, fully vaccinated people don't need to, be in there. So, but it's a monumental step for, the sport and stuff. It's a monumental step of, maybe getting fans, back into the infield, which I don't think is going to happen for quite a while. But hey, who knows? But how yesterday was a big day for not just NASCAR, but for the entire country.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked with Justin Allgaier and Chase Briscoe about this story on the Zooms we had yesterday. I've got what Briscoe said about it. He said pretty much if NASCAR feels confident, that's the okay. He's confident. And just like you said, he read that the CDC said it was okay to be outside without one. And this is pretty much a situation where NASCAR is really encouraging everyone, whether you're going to be a guest in the garage with a hot pass or a cold pass, or anyone that works inside the sport with a hard card, get vaccinated so
Yeah.
you don't have to wear a mask outside.
Right.
Hoping the best for Watkins Glen when I go this August, that I don't have to wear it inside the media center because, gosh, I'm getting sick of them. But I'm still gonna wear them.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna wear them in New York. We still have this mask mandate out here, but it's a big step. We get to see more light at the end of the tunnel
Of
in
course.
regards to this pandemic. I'm glad that in the garage you don't have to wear a mask outside.
Okay. Yeah. So just so also to just so clarify, you are fully vaccinated.
Yes.
I will be on May 22nd, and I'll get to that in a minute. But there was another big thing that happened this week, and there was a meeting at the Fair Board, the Nashville Fairgrounds. If you want more details and go into that, go listen to my podcast with Tommy Joe Martins. He does a great job of explaining everything that's happened. Of course, he's been there, raced there. And of course, Tommy Joe Martins, I'm talking about NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. Um, so what's your take on all that? I know we're all new to the Nashville Fairgrounds politics that have been going on there for years.
So, I didn't read that much about it. I heard that Matt Weaver covered a lot of it on Auto
Matt Weaver
Week.
did a pretty good job covering it.
Yeah, but the notable parts I saw from it was that the lady that was on with her dog, saying if
Oh,
we
you
have
know the
NAS,
5 point. Okay, so there's another thing, and Tommy Joe clarified this too.
yeah,
Yeah, we know about the lady that said there were like 5 Formula One tracks out there. It's yeah, we know that. But here's the thing: what she was trying to get at is that there is an IndyCar race that's happening in Nashville, the streets of Nashville, the first week of August, and NASCAR is going to Nashville Superspeedway, the Sticks, on the outskirts of town, some point in June. So why do we have all these races here? Why do we need the fairgrounds? These are legit concerns residents have had. This has been
yeah.
the time, dozens and dozens and dozens of times this has been brought up.
So
So
this is what I'm going to say about it. If you live near a racetrack, you should understand the consequences that there are going to be loud V8 noises consisting of 800 horsepower around the racetrack, usually for Nashville specifically, every weekend because they're a weekly track. And then when NASCAR, it's even louder. So
right,
if you don't want to deal with that loud noise, then why in the world are you living at the racetrack?
yeah,
We've got some of the racetracks I covered, Genesee Speedway, Land of Legends Raceway. They're all on fairground property, and they have 11 o'clock curfews issued by the fairground because of the noise that
right,
comes out, which doesn't make any sense. If they were on regular ground, like Ransomville Speedway, for example, or Weed Sport, not Weed Sport, I should say, because they're considered Cayuga County Fairgrounds, I believe. I'm not too sure, but Ransomville is one of them that is on public ground. They don't have the noise curfew. So if you are going to if you don't want to deal with noise, maybe you shouldn't be living near a racetrack. And to that woman with her dog, I'll call her Karen for now. Check your facts about racing before you go out and complain to the public.
all right. And I'll also say this: as long as here's the thing. There's also an MLS stadium that's going there. As long as that project doesn't interfere with this one, from all the things that I've heard from down there, that's good. The thing is also, if they go to Nashville and say, "Oh, hey, we need money," they mean Marcus Smith and SMI. They go there and say, "Hey, we need money," no, it's not going to work. So they have to find a way to do. There's just a lot of momentum that's going on there. I do believe that they're going to be racing there.
Yeah,
There's
I
just
think
I know there's a lot that needs to be done at that facility, but they're gonna make this work. There's just too much momentum behind it.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is the Nashville Fairgrounds will be Cup exclusive because of the pits and how much you can fit inside the infield. Because Dover reopened up Nashville Super Speedway, it would be just an absolute waste to just have it for 1 year and then or 2 years, and then the fairgrounds open up and says, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna have to shut back down because Xfinity and Truck moved over to the fairgrounds." So do similar to what they did as standalone races back in like the mid 2000s and then ended in 2011. Let's put the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series back at Nashville and then use the Cup Series for the fairgrounds.
Okay. That's not a bad idea. We'll just have to see what happens in the timeline there. All right, time to make some picks. And if you watch RSN Trackside, there's a way that they do things over there.
Yes.
There is an ARCA East race. It's actually today, 5 p.m. on Track Pass. My good buddy Charlie Crawl will be on the call for that one. So.
Hey,
And
Charlie, if you're watching, if you need a commentator, fellow commentator too in the booth, let me know.
yeah. So all right. Okay, so we got quite the interesting field. Speaking of Josh Berry, he's running all 3 races this weekend.
Okay, then simple to say because I won't be able to cover
Okay.
all 3.
Jade
Yeah.
Buford's in the field. Ty Gibbs is in the field. Sammy Smith. A lot of those.
Yeah, so I won't be able to watch all 3 races. Well, watch them all. Obviously, Friday and Saturday, I'm covering races at Ransomville Speedway and Land of Legends Raceway. They're grassroots season openers this season for the weekly series they have. And then Sunday, I'm board operating MRN's broadcast of the Cup race at the radio station I work at, CJ Country in Warsaw. But for ARCA East, I think it's going to be a battle. Excuse me. I think it's a battle between Josh Berry and Ty Gibbs. And I think Berry gets the upper end.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the car that's been pretty dominant in the ARCA Menard Series East. I'm gonna go with Sammy Smith. He's gonna get it done. But Ty Gibbs is I'll get to him in a minute. Okay, so the NASCAR Xfinity Series Saturday. We got some pretty good ones. Good field. Who you got?
All right. So I can't remember who I picked. We did ours on Trackside on Wednesday night. I think I picked Justin Allgaier again, or Josh. I know I picked Josh Berry. I picked Josh Berry on Wednesday night since it's a short track. I know in his late model races he's run before in the Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, there are no tracks that have high banking or no short tracks with extreme high banking like Dover that run weekly. So my biggest test is how he can handle the turns on the outside once the tires get used on a long run.
Mhm.
But I think Josh Berry can still get the upper end in it. But watch out for Allgaier and Gregson. They're going to be pretty quick this weekend.
They are. The junior motorsports cars are just going to be absolute. But here's the thing: this is going to be one of those like surprise picks this weekend. I'm going to take Ty Gibbs.
Okay, good pick. Good pick.
I think so. I would not be. The 7 car is the car to beat. I do believe that. And I think it's going to be out there. All those junior motorsports cars are really strong right now. But what we've seen out of Ty in the Xfinity Series this year has just been absolutely insane. Just to see him go out there and just run well at tracks that he's never ran on without practice or without qualifying. So it's definitely going to be. I do think the 54 is going to go to victory lane this weekend, but he's going to have some pretty stout competitors. And by the way, it's only a few more races until who starts showing. His old adversary shows up. That of course
Sam Mayer. That's
Mayer.
going to be. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll be at Pocono on June 26th, which is, by the way, his birthday, and also Chandler Smith's birthday and Matt Tiff's birthday. Okay, Cup race. On Sunday, we got the Dryden 400. Who do you got?
So he won one of the Dover races last year, so that will put you down to 2 drivers.
Okay.
But he also won recently there in 2018 with the exact same package. He also won the playoff race in 2015.
I think I know who. I think I know.
And I think Miles the Monster is going to be holding this diecast this weekend. Look at this. I got Kevin Harvick winning this. I got one of these from 2009 from my cousin. I always hold a diecast up of whoever wins the race. So this is my tradition that continues on. Miles the Monster holds up Harvick as the winner at Dover.
I don't know who's going to be more excited about this weekend at Dover, the fans or Miles, because he's going to eat a lot of race cars.
Yes, he is.
Okay. All right. So I am going to take somebody that has won at Dover, this time in 2019, and who just won last week. Yes, I'm picking the 19.
Wow. You what do they call it? I forgot what they call it in public speaking. I don't know. Never mind.
Well,
you bandwagoner.
No, here's the thing. It's just it fits the package. The 19.
Yeah.
Those overall, we've seen it across the board. We've seen Toyota just have just been an improvement. We haven't seen. The thing is, what we've seen is, just that 19 team has improved. We saw
Yes.
18 get up there. Not sure why Denny hasn't won yet. Not sure why Chase hasn't won yet. Kevin's getting there, but I do think the 19 is going to get it done. It's the Monster Mile is going to, it's going to be a monster as it usually is. So,
And Truex simply said it himself after winning last week. He loves a little downforce.
yeah. By the way, IndyCar, I'm picking Joseph Newgarden to get it done.
Where
And
they at?
they're at the Indy GP.
They're on the road course, right? Okay.
Road course. Oh yeah, news there. Max
Scott
Chilton
Dixon.
running.
Yeah, Jones not running. I saw that. I'm going with Scott Dixon. I'm going with Scott Dixon. I don't follow IndyCar that much, but I'm excited for when the 500 comes up.
IndyCar is always a fun experience. I've always had,
Yeah.
drivers. We got IMSA this weekend. They're at Mid Ohio. NHRA, they're at the 4 wide down in Charlotte. So a lot of the media colleagues are going to be. There was a cool event down there. Bubba Wallace, Daniel Hemrick, J.R. Todd, and Sean Langdon. We're all I think the NHRA guys were showing some of the NASCAR guys what's this like? Through.
I guess who won? Bubba Wallace won. So
Nice.
to the haters, take that.
Yeah, that's fun. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this weekend of the preview show. Marty Zaccalo, thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you, Casey.
Yeah, it's been fun. Join us next week. You never know who will be on the other side of me, but we'll be previewing COTA, and I'll be going to Toledo next week for the ARCA Series race. So catch the ARCA preview with Charlie, which will come out sometime next week. All right.